All right. Next question up. We had somebody who wrote in and asked about Amex referrals. And I thought this was a great question. So he said, like many points enthusiasts several years ago, and sorry, this is Chris. Chris says, like many points enthusiasts several years ago, I referred myself to a couple of Amex cards back when that still worked. So self-referred, referred
Yeah.
himself in
Hmm.
order to pick up the referral points. Unfortunately, Amex later clawed back those points and also blocked many of the people who had self-referred from referring cards at all. It's annoying because I do tell my friends and family about Amex cards, but when they decide to get the cards, I can't refer them because they took away his ability to refer people, right? And of course,
Right.
the 30K referrals that we've been talking about with the platinum card and that sort of thing have been, really making him jealous, and it's been blocked for a couple of years now at least. So he says he's tried calling in naively a couple of times and just saying the system won't let him refer, and the phone agents have never been able to figure out why. Do you think there's any hope for ever getting unblocked? Do you think I should call in and tell them what happened with the self refer in the hopes of getting a department that can unlock this? Or am I forever doomed to miss out on the thousands of free membership rewards points that I should be getting from referrals?
Yeah, that's a rough situation. Especially since like it wasn't obvious back when self-referrals were, before we knew that Amex frowned on self-referrals, it wasn't obvious that they didn't want to allow it. I mean, it's clear, like, if you think about it logically, like, it kind of makes sense that they wouldn't want to, but there was nothing obvious about it. And so it's kind of sad that, a lot of people got in this situation where they can't refer. That's too bad. Um, I don't know of any examples where someone has gotten that reversed, but uh, first of all, I don't see any problem with calling and being honest about what happened. That does seem to me like a good idea, a better idea than just calling and pretending that you don't know why you can't refer. Because then at least they have they have a starting point to be looking into what's going on. I mean, like, what would you be afraid of them doing to you?
Right.
They've
What's
already
going to
taken
be,
away.
yeah, what's going to be worse than that? Like if they wanted to close your account, they would have done it back
Exactly.
then. Like,
Exactly. So they're not going to close your account because you're calling to ask about this one thing. Um, the other thing I would recommend is that you ask to speak with a supervisor. That, in my experience with Amex, most of the sort of first line call answerers don't have as many powers as the supervisors do. And if you get a good supervisor, they might not be able to directly help you with this issue, but they should be able to open up a case that then goes to the right people and hopefully gets resolved. So I've had situations like that in the past where that's happened, where um, I was skeptical when the supervisor said, I'm opening the case and I'm going to get back to you. But in fact, she did open the case and she did get back to me and it was all resolved to my favor. So again, I don't know that would happen in this case, but I think for there to be a chance of something good to happen, I think it has to at least get to that level of the supervisor doing something proactively, like opening a case and investigating it.
there you go. I would agree. I think that's the best course of action. Now, tagging a similar question onto that, similar-ish. I had somebody reach out to me the very next day after this, who reached out to me and said, "Uh-oh, I accidentally self-referred myself." So it was a situation
What?
where they were, yeah, they thought they were logged into the spouse's account to generate
Oh,
the referral link, but turned out they were logged into their own account. Didn't realize until after they applied and got approved and received the bonus points, and and it was like Hilton bonus points or something like. It wasn't even something that was like a crazy
yeah.
amount of points.
Ouch.
Yeah. So then they were like, "Well, what do I do now? Like, do I call Amex and say, whoops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do this. Do I just leave it alone? Like, what'd you do in that situation?"
Um, I think whenever I'm walking past Amex, I'd wear a wide brimmed hat and
That's
just kind of stick to the shadows,
hope that you just slide by. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Much
don't know. I
better.
mean,
Yeah.
I don't, I can't imagine that calling attention to it in this case is going to be helpful.
Right. If they haven't noticed it themselves, then yeah, calling attention to it probably doesn't make any sense. Just
Yeah.
let it go, and say a
And
few
just hope for
prayers
the
and hope for
best.
the best. Yeah, I think that's all you
That's
can
my
do.
guess. I mean, I'd hate to be giving wrong advice here. I mean, I guess there's theoretically a possibility of getting someone on the phone who would understand your plight and proactively stop you from getting banned, but that's a lot of ifs.
Yeah, that is a lot of ifs, and my thought is probably one of them, is gonna slide through probably now. I mean, I wouldn't do that on purpose, but if you ended up in that situation accidentally, I would probably just cross my fingers and hope. And I think in the case, the
Yeah.
person that reached out to me was Hilton Points, which is probably in slightly better shape that way than if it was membership rewards points, I think. So anyway, all right.
And of course, obviously don't do it again.
Right. Right. Don't make that mistake twice.
Right.
Fool me